Hello. It's going to be a weird episode.
Yep. We did it a little early because we're going to be on vacation in September, so beginning of September. So we wanted to do this, and
I wanted to do it this case a little early, simply because honestly, don't know how I'm going to feel in the next couple of weeks. If we're going to be able to record afterwards, or if I'd be too tired, or even worse, Michelle might need some time after the toy box killer.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you watching, you've seen the episode. She has not heard that episode or knows anything of it.
Mm-mm.
She might need some time after that one.
Possibly. So today is Wednesday the 20th that we are recording this, just to give you a heads up.
So we don't know anything that happened. So hi, future us.
Yeah. So, and then this is going to post. It will be released on September 1st. But by the time you see this, I mean, we've already recorded it. So this is pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be out of town.
Yeah. We're going to be on vacation before Disney World. And this video is going to be released on my actual birthday, which is
Disneyland, by the way, not World. But
yeah, Disneyland.
I knew what she meant.
Okay, so I'm gonna get you started on Edmund Kemper by reading you a quote of his.
Oh shit!
So you can fully understand. Did we turn on the microphone?
Mine's on.
Mine is not on.
You're talking to yourself.
Hi guys, if you could not hear me before, sorry, I just turned my microphone on. Are you gonna look us up and see if you can see us?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna start on Edmund Kemper yet. Yeah, because honestly, I don't know how I'm gonna feel in the next couple of days. Work is getting a little bit crazy.
Yep.
Don't know if we're gonna have overtime, OT.
Got too much crap going on.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Might as well just get it over and done with.
Yep. Oh, I remember that.
And today felt like a pre-recording day.
Yeah. There might be times that we do
pre-recorded episodes.
Yep. Because there might be times that we're trying to pack or do something to pack and.
Oh, you misspelled Edmund Kemper.
Did I?
Yeah, it's Edumn.
Oh well, I knew what I meant. I can fix it later. Because that's how I put it, was that way. No. There.
Yes, his name is Edmund Kemper III. He is a third. His father was junior.
I mean, he's short.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We had one person and then they went away.
Oh.
So, I mean, today, again, just giving a heads up, today is Wednesday, August 20th. This is a live that we are pre-recording. I have it scheduled to be published on Monday, September 1st. So you are seeing it live. Yes, right now. And then we'll post it it'll be released on the 1st.
Yeah. My birthday. Happy birthday, future me.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to get started. You're going to learn a little bit more about Edmund Kemper. He is a sick individual. He is particularly nasty. The reason I wanted to do him is because his mindset and the way he thinks and connects dots is so insane. His thought process is so well thought out that in a way it's kind of like the reason, because I found out about him when I was like 10 years old. And I read every book on him. I read articles on him. I was looking him up on Murderpedia. I was looking up crime scene photos of this man at 10 years old. Kemper is that case that I cannot not think about because of how insane the case is.
On the FBI watch list.
Yeah, probably. Especially because I was 10 at the time. The real fundamental years. You can blame unadult, just open access to the internet.
Mhm.
I was on Murderpedia almost every night looking up different killers and their crime scene photos. Okay.
So if Abigail goes missing,
Yeah.
FBI got her.
The FBI got me. So so you can kind of fully understand. So like you can start a grasp on this man. I'm going to read you a quote. And this is about him killing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I took off Friday. I didn't go to work. I called in sick, took PTO, all right? Dismembered her body, got rid of her body, but kept her head in her hands because they were identifiable. They're highly identifiable. I kept those at the apartment, okay? That Thursday night, I took her. Friday morning, she was dismembered. Friday night, she was disposed of, right? Saturday morning, I left, right? And I wasn't satisfied. That took the head along in the hands, but I couldn't put them someplace. And I could be sure they would be dug up by any animal or just be somewhere. It's scary going out there trying to bury somebody and dispose of body parts in a community or even out in the boonies. So I will say, so I am going to say something about this. Just the constant, right? Like he's trying to, what's the word?
Justify?
Not even justify. Like he's trying to get you to understand him. Where it's like, hey, I disposed of her body, right? I kidnapped her Thursday night. I dumped her body Friday, right?
Why does this sound like he wrote it in a journal or in a calendar?
No, this is an actual interview with him. This is how he speaks. I love it's scary going out there trying to bury somebody and dispose of body parts.
I took her head in her hands because they're identifiable.
Very identifiable.
Hey, dumb shit. So are her toes. Because you know why? You can get toe prints. I almost said fingerprints. You can get prints from her toes.
Well, they couldn't. Fun fact. I'm going to give you a little spoiler on this. They barely ever found any of the victims' bodies.
Oh, wow.
So I will say something, the quote, the constant saying right and okay at the end of the sentence, it's like he's questioning it. Like he's trying to gauge how you're feeling. Like when he's doing the interview, he's trying to gauge how the interviewer feels about what he's saying almost. So if you actually listen to that interview, he's actually kind of charming. And he seems pretty chill. He gives off this vibe of I'm just a chill guy, bro.
I'm an upstanding citizen.
I'm just a chill dude. I'm just vibing here.
When you go get a coffee, you may not make it. You may not be able to find your head and hands.
I will also say, if you've seen the show Mindhunters, Kemper is in Mindhunters. And the actor who plays him, remarkable. Amazing. It is a spot on copy of him. Mm-hmm. I almost felt like I was watching actual Kemper with how close their mannerisms were, how he spoke. So Kemper is the killer I studied the most. He is by far one of the more interesting ones to me. So the reason I also think he's so interesting to me personally is because he's so methodical. But he could play the town idiot like no other. Like, he was intelligent. He was very, very smart. But he could just be the town idiot, pretend to be the clown idiot. Like, he was just, he could easily, it was just like, oh, that's just Kemper. He's a little special. Like, that's virtually what everybody said about Kemper. This was before they knew he was a murderer. Okay. So everyone thought he was just living in his own world, moving around without a care. When in reality, he was really smart. He knew people viewed him like that, so he used it to his advantage. So let me give you a little tidbit on Kemper. Edmund Kemper III was 6'9".
Jesus Christ.
How tall is John?
Shorter than that. Wow.
Edmund Kemper was 6'9". He was almost 300 pounds. Some say 250 to 300 pounds.
Wow.
And he was a big guy. He was also really smart. He had an IQ of 145.
Yeah.
To give you some kind of relation to that, Einstein and Stephen Hawking are estimated to be at 160.
Oh, wow.
100 is normal intelligence.
I know I'm not that.
So this man is big, he's tall. He knows him being big and tall. Everyone's just going to assume he's stupid. He's smart though, so he knows to play into that trope. So he is famous for killing 10 people total, 6 female college students, his mom, one of her friends, and also his grandparents. His grandparents' murder is an insane story that we are going to get into. So heads up, I'm going to give you guys a heads up about this. We are definitely going to be talking about defiling corpses. We're going to be talking about necrophilia.
Ew.
Yeah. So fun little fact, American Psycho quoted Edmund Kemper, but they said it was,
Sorry.
Oh gosh. What's the dude who was based off of Psycho?
Oh, good God.
Oh gosh.
I have no clue.
He's the one with the mommy issue. Oh, they all have mommy issues at some point.
Bates had mommy issues.
No, he was based off of them.
I don't know. You know what's funny though? All I see is Christian Bale. Isn't he playing Psycho or something like that? Movie?
Ed Gein. So in American Psycho,
Okay.
Who's the guy you just said?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale says a quote in the movie. Then he said, "Oh, that's Ed Gein who said that."
Okay.
Ed Gein did not say that. Kemper actually said it.
Oh, damn.
So they misquoted Ed Gein.
Oops, sorry. Our bad.
Yeah. When I tell you, I've already told you this quote. I did not realize it was in Psycho, though.
And what's sad is I probably forgot to even touch my roll. I'm gonna knock you out. What are you doing? And you probably did tell me a quote, and I just forget. Half the time when you tell me quotes, I forget.
Yeah.
Because why? My brain is just that way.
So the interview was given to him in prison.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a serial killer magazine. It was a true crime magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like in the 70s. So, 70s, 80s. Serial killers were a really hot topic. Understanding them was pretty big. So giving interviews was kind of big.
Okay.
So the quote goes, "When I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think 2 things. One part of me wants to take her out, talk to her, be real nice and sweet and treat her right. And the other part of me wants to know what her head looks like on a stick."
Sorry. My God.
Yeah. That was Kemper's quote. They used it in American Psycho.
Oh, don't lick my cup. Hey, on the side, not the top.
So.
Wow.
I was like, you heard that quote is insane. And to me, it's a little bit different because you're going to learn about the toy box killer soon. And I'm going to tell you this. The toy box killer had a hatred from women straight off the bat. Like every woman he saw, there was nothing but hatred in his heart for her. But this guy is like, sometimes I want to take her on a date. I want to treat her right.
And then I might want to take her head off after dessert.
Just cut her head off and see what it looks like on a stick. Like those are 2 different thought processes that you cannot think go on at the same time in a person's head, but they do. It's insane. So
Psycho killer. That's all I'm hearing. I'm literally, no joke right now. That's all I'm hearing play in my head right now. Is the Psycho Killer song repeatedly on repeat.
Kemper killed in Santa Cruz, California. And he was one of a triad of serial killers killing at the time in the area.
Okay.
John Lindley Frazier, who killed a whole family to save the environment, was killing at this time. And Herbert...
What?
Yeah, he killed a whole family and he killed a couple other people to save the environment. He believed by killing them, he could sacrifice them and save the environment. We'll get into him.
How? Okay. How did that work out?
Herbert Mullen killed 13 people in a spree killing because he thought it would prevent a really bad earthquake from destroying California. We're also going to get into him soon.
What are you people thinking? Are you on drugs when you do this?
I think he was just in a psychosis.
Something.
Yeah. Well, Herbert and Kemper have a long story. Herbert's going to pop back in at the end of this case. So, Kemper's 6 college victims were all picked up hitchhiking because hitchhiking was super popular at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually don't know a lot about like how he picked them up other than hitchhiking, and we don't know pretty much any of that other than that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into Kemper's history. So he was born in Burbank, California on December 18th, 1948. Kemper was born to Edmund Jr. and Clarnell Kemper.
Apologize to one of my family members now because their birthday is right on Kemper's birthday.
His family was not a happy one. His parents were the opposite of a lovey family.
Oh.
Clarnell and his dad divorced in 1957 when Kemper was 9 years old. And that might not have been too bad, but he was left with his mother. His mom was not a loving person. She was the exact opposite of that.
Mm.
I'm going to quote Edmund Kemper Jr., his father.
Mm.
He said he served in World War I, and he said suicide missions in wartime and atomic bomb testings were nothing compared to living with her.
Oh, okay.
So he would rather be testing nuclear bombs than live with his ex-wife.
It accidentally goes off. Oops.
Clarnell was an alcoholic that was verbally and psychologically abusive to Kemper.
Weird name.
Yeah.
Clarnell to me sounds like a dude's name, but okay.
She was verbally and psychologically abusive to Kemper during his childhood,
mm-hmm.
and it got worse after the divorce. She would say, "You're just like your dad," and that was meant to be an insult. And trust me, if none of you have ever been told that as a child or even as an adult, that shit hurts.
I don't think I ever have.
I have been.
Now, I've been told I act like a coworker, and that was like, that's a slap in the face insult. But I tell them right away.
When after everything was going on, I had been told I was just like my father. And that hurts your feelings.
I think I've been told that I'm just like father, like daughter, but in a joking manner. Never been told anything hurtful.
Yeah. So it hurts. It said that she suffered from borderline personality disorder, but it's unconfirmed and undiagnosed.
Huh. I still got Psycho Killer playing in my head. Sorry.
So Clarnell didn't want to treat Kemper lovingly or dote on him or give him any form of leniency because she was afraid he would turn gay.
God.
So she was like, I'll just abuse him and he won't turn out gay.
Does he have other siblings?
Yes. He has 2 female siblings.
Okay.
And we're going to get into that because that's kind of rough too.
I thought I'd ask because, I mean, if she's treating him like that, I mean, does he have other siblings?
Which, by the way, that's actually not how that works.
No, I know.
So she constantly belittled him and humiliated him. And she would primarily focus on his size. She would call him a freak at 15 years old.
Because he was a big kid?
Because at 15, he was 6'4".
Jesus.
In a 1984 interview, he was quoted talking about his mother saying, "My mother was sick, angry, hungry, and a very sad woman. I hated her, but I wanted to love my mother. I watched the alcohol increase. I watched the social life drop off. I watched her get bizarre. She had terrible pain from her life, her upbringing, a failed marriage with my father. I'm a constant reminder of that failure." Which to me, that quote, insane. Because he's so self-aware.
Yeah, because like you just said, he's noticing that his mom's lifestyle as a child, she's projecting it off on him. It's like you don't have a right to project the way you were treated in your childhood and the way you were brought up and raised on your kids. But she was doing that, and he
Exactly.
noticed it.
He noticed it, and it's also, it gives off sympathy vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he is, he is a psychopath. He can't have sympathy. He cannot have empathy for another person.
Mm-hmm.
But that is how charming
Mm-hmm.
he is when he says stuff, he's so smart, he makes it seem like it's empathy. Like it's sympathy for his mother.
Hmm.
So something that his mom would do is she would lock Kemper up in the dark basement alone at 9 years old. The dark basement was his room. The family left the center room, the living room of the house. So this is a quote of his. The family left the center room, the living room of the house.
Mm-hmm.
My mother and my sisters, or my sisters themselves, would go up to bed upstairs, where I used to go to bed upstairs. I had to go down to the basement. So I'm going to tell you her reasoning for her putting him in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
She was scared he was going to harm or molest his sisters. And she didn't want him being free at night to roam the house.
Okay.
She would, on occasion, lock the basement door so he wouldn't leave. But the door to the kitchen was under the table. So to lock it, she would put the table on top of the door so he couldn't open it.
Okay.
And he was like 8 or 9 at the time when this started.
Hmm.
Kemper said that there was a light in the room that he would have to run across the basement to light the bare bulb that was there.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't have to sleep in the complete and total utter darkness. He said he would run over in pure terror.
Mm-hmm.
And this is definitely one of those cases you feel bad for the child.
Yeah, because that's not cool.
At one point when he was younger, he had a crush on his teacher. And his sisters were like, if you have a crush on her, why don't you kiss her? And he said, if I kissed her, I would have to kill her first.
Okay, that's not what I want to hear.
I don't know what age he said that, but he was still kind of young when that was said. It was around 10 years old, he started to show some of the typical signs that serial killers have.
Yeah.
And that is the killing of animals. He started to butcher the family cats.
Oh.
Don't
listen, Willow. Don't listen.
There's a story that he buried one alive, dug it out, and put its head on a spike.
We couldn't do that.
At 13,
don't listen, Willow.
At 13, he killed another family cat because he felt that cat loved his sister more than him. He also tortured and killed and dismembered that cat.
Don't listen, Willow.
No shit, that cat loved your sisters more. It probably knew what you were.
It can sense.
It knew you killed its other friend.
Cats can sense things. They can sense when somebody's not a good person.
So after he killed and dismembered it, he hid the body of the cat in his closet.
Oh, that's lovely.
And where was it? His mom found the pieces of the cat and yelled at him to get the pieces out of the closet. That's all she did.
It's called,
therapy.
Psychologist.
Take him to therapy.
Yeah. I mean, those are out there. They're in the phone book. Well, online now, but back in that time, probably in a phone book. Get a psychologist. What the heck?
Child psychologist. Also, maybe look at how you're treating your son.
I mean, that's the biggest thing right there. Good Lord.
So during these times, he was also decapitating his sister's dolls. Edmund has an explanation for his behavior. Not that I believe it, but I just want you to get this. So he goes, I had a cap gun. It was by Mattel, right? Fanner 500 was a
As he names the company, Mattel.
Right? Fanner 50 was a very fancy cap gun. I got it in New York City. I went up there one summer with a cousin.
And blames the city.
I went up there one summer with a cousin, and when I came back, my sister was kind of jealous. My little sister, for years, I never really put value on what happened. I tried to figure out beyond the obvious what happened in that scenario, but she I found it plausible to believe that when she was angry or jealous about something, she would fuel her attitude towards resolving something. She hated that cap gun because it came between us as brother and sister. It was something I had that she didn't have. That trip represented something she really wanted. She didn't get it, and I did. But very soon after coming back from that trip, she got in an argument with me. It was something petty, really petty. She got really outraged. She picked up the cat pistol and I said, don't throw that. And she threw it right at me. Wham! Hard. It hit the floor and my toe. And it hurt so bad. But it broke the gun. The inner mechanisms, it wouldn't work after that. I picked it up and I found that out. It wouldn't cock and pull the trigger anymore. And that really outraged me. So I said, so you want to play like that? So I go running into her room. She goes, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Typical brother-sister thing.
She's shrieking and chasing me, right? So I run into her room and I grab her Barbie doll. It was one of the fancy dolls she had, that Barbie doll. Everybody has one, right? She had a pair of sewing scissors sitting there and a sewing machine, a sewing kit. I grabbed the scissors out. The head didn't decapitate, it pops off. So I popped that off. I said, well, that goes right back on. That's no damage. So I took the scissors and cut the hands off the dolls. I said, there, now you got a toy that doesn't work too good. I got a toy that doesn't work too good. That was my attitude. It wasn't quite just me going and, dismembering her doll. Again, I think that's a little bit too quick an assignation. It's not me to judge those professionals. But when they look at me here on Monday morning after the football game and they go, gee, here's all these little parts of the puzzle. Oh, this indicates what he was going to do. So that's a little bit of the reasoning.
Oh my God. Wow.
He's like, and all these psychologists saying, look, this was an obvious sign of what he was going to become.
Yeah, but people don't know that. Unless you get a psychologist into it.
But think about what did he say in the beginning? What was the first quote? I cut off their heads and their hands. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of already in his pathology. He got a thing for heads and he got a thing for hands.
At least he didn't have a foot fetish.
Yes. That we know of. So, that wasn't the only warning that the Kemper family had. Kemper and his sisters had a game.
Get up there. Get up there. Yeah, yes, you can get up there. She doesn't want to get on the couch because Willow's up here. Get up there.
Go on.
Go on. Willow. Come here. Your name is not Willow. Did you change it overnight? Are you a cat? Get up there. Come here. Well, come here. Come here. Come here. You gotta let the dog on the bed, on the couch. Why are you? She's like, I can't, Mom. There's too many damn pillows.
Come on.
Don't you do it.
Come on. Hermione, come on. Come on.
Get up there. Just get the pillows in place. Oh, my Lord, get up there. It's driving me nuts, dog. Oh, cheese and crackers. There you go. Oh, shut up. Shut up.
If you can't hear, every time the dog gets close to Willow screams.
Willow, come here. Hey, come here.
Sit. Hermione, sit.
Let go in the bed. Okay, you lay right here and stop. Lay down. There you go. You got your spot back. There you go. You're welcome. Okay, can we proceed now?
Now she got to sniff it.
Lay down. You wanted your spot back. Lay down. You lay down too. Don't meow at me. All right, there you go. Happy camper. Okay. Just to take care of something.
Jeez. So we had a game with his sisters that they would play. Do you want to guess what they were called?
Dr. Nurse.
A little bit more extreme.
Good cop, bad cop.
Close-ish.
I don't know.
Game was called Gas Chamber.
Oh, damn.
And the other game was called Electric Chair.
Oh, jeez. Wow. That's way off. I wasn't even close at all.
So, Gas Chamber was a game where they would throw Edmund into a room and flip a switch, and he would pretend to be gassed.
Okay.
And the electric chair was the same. He would sit in a chair, and they would flip a switch, and he would writhe around like he was getting electrocuted.
Oh, my God.
Ugh. So after 5 years of living with his mom, so he's like 13 at the time. Yeah. So he's like 14 years old, right?
Yeah.
He had enough, and he ran to his dad's house. But his dad had remarried, and he had a stepson. So he runs to the man he idolizes, and his dad was like, "There's not a lot of room for you here." Kemper stayed there for a little bit, but he was soon sent to live with his dad's parents, his paternal grandparents, Maud and Edmund Kemper, on a farm in North Fork, California. So Edmund sees this as another form of rejection. His mom would call him a monster, a giant monster. She would call him a weirdo. And then his dad was like, "No, you have to live with my parents. We don't have any space for you." So he gets to the farm, and he immediately sees his grandma like his mom, because she seemed domineering like his mother. He would see her emasculate his grandpa and belittle him, and he was like, "You're just like my mom." His mom had also instilled in him to hate almost all women, which is kind of funny. Because if he hates most women, who's he going to get in a relationship with?
Yeah.
If he's not supposed to be gay?
True.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
So after some time at the farm, on August 27th, 1964, Edmund was 15 years old. He had an argument with his grandmother. The argument was basically her telling him to stop killing the birds on the farm. He got so mad that he grabbed a .22 caliber hunting rifle that his grandfather had given him, and he shot his grandmother in the head and twice in the back. Jesus. Now, his grandmother was also writing and illustrating a children's book. She was found slumped over it on the table.
Oh, wow.
His grandfather was coming home from grocery shopping, or shopping of some sort.
Be nice. Stop.
When he arrived, Kemper shot and killed him too in the driveway. When he was asked for his reasoning for shooting him, he goes, "I didn't want my grandfather to see his dead wife."
Okay.
And the reason he shot his grandmother was, "I wanted to see what it was like to shoot grandma."
Okay.
Which is very telling on how he views women versus men. He was trying to be very protective of the man, but he was like, "I just want to know what it was like to kill grandma."
Oh, just stop.
There was also reports that there were multiple post-mortem stab wounds to the grandmother. Like he had stabbed her after she died.
Oh, wow.
So after he killed his grandma and grandpa, Kemper sat down and called his mom. So in 1965, his mom answers and tells him to call the police, and he does, and he waits on the front porch waiting for them to arrive. Upon his arrest, he was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic by a court psychiatrist, and that was later changed. They did sentence him with it, and he carried out his sentence in Atascadero State Hospital for the criminally insane. The experts there believe that the grandparents' killing was displaced rage that was initially intended for his parents for rejecting him. Well, one person said he didn't show any signs of, I quote, "no flights of ideas, no interferences or thoughts, no expressions of delusions or hallucinations, and no evidence of bizarre thinking," which meant he was not a paranoid schizophrenic. And they eventually changed his diagnosis to having a personality trait disturbance with a passive-aggressive type. He wasn't just passive-aggressive, though. He was also super aggressive. While he was there in that state hospital, he was a model prisoner. Everyone said he was a model prisoner. And he did not go to a juvenile.
He went to an adult one.
He went to an adult one. And he's 15 years old at the time.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of also the people he's with.
Mm-hmm.
It's helping mold him. He won everyone over in the prison, and he actually gained a ton of perks and freedoms.
Hmm.
He had a charming personality, and because of this, they would let him administer psychiatric tests to other patients and prisoners because there was a lot of bad people there. So they let him learn the psychiatric system. He
So they
learned
let
how
a
to pass
psycho
it.
work on other psychos.
Yeah.
Y'all psycho?
So
Jeez.
he's 15. So he's learning. And again, he's so intelligent. He knows that if he can administer these tests, he can learn how to pass the tests.
Well, I give him credit. He ain't stupid.
He isn't.
Learning everything that he can while he's in there.
This allowed him to see how the tests work. He learned how to answer the questions to make people think he was in a better headspace than he actually was. And this is going to come into play later.
Mm-hmm.
These people were like the worst of the worst, and he was stuck there during his adolescence. So he learned things from the other criminals and how to do things during his formative years. He learned how to essay women, learned you had to kill them because you can't leave a witness. That stuck with him. That he would have to kill a woman because you couldn't leave a witness, because she was going to tell on you. So, eventually,
Mm-hmm.
Kemper got paroled on his 21st birthday, December 18th. So he was released to his mom against psychiatrist's orders. They wanted him, they actually pleaded for him not to go back and be released to his mom, but he was still released to her. They actually had told him, cut her off. Don't even send her a Christmas card.
Yeah.
He did not listen to him. When he was released from the hospital, his record was expunged, meaning the record of him killing his grandparents went away completely.
Oh.
It was still in the system, but eventually later on, you're going to see it gets completely wiped.
Okay.
He had basically tricked them into thinking it was just a psychotic break and that he was better and he was healed.
Mm-hmm.
So he moved into an apartment with his roommate in Alameda, California, but his mom would still pop in for surprise visits. He got a job for the highway patrol department and the highway department, and at some point he got into a bad motorcycle accident and got a settlement of $15,000, which is how he bought his 1969 yellow Ford Galaxy.
Okay.
Don't know what it is with serial killers and yellow cars.
Yeah.
Ted Bundy had a yellow VW Bug.
Mm-hmm.
Super famous.
Dr. Kevorkian had a yellow van.
Yeah.
Yeah, a yellow Volkswagen van.
Yeah. Don't know what with the color yellow, but if I see you
that's right, because I'm not thinking about it. The two bombers for Oklahoma City bombing had a yellow car because it was in the museum. What is wrong with you people in yellow? You like bananas?
Damn, yeah, I know. Maybe it's because yellow is supposed to be a happy color. And it's like, well, that's the thing. Yellow is
not happy.
Yellow is supposed to be a happy color, psychologically speaking. So when you view a yellow car, you feel
no, I don't.
less
I
anxious.
think it looks ugly. I think blue is a happy color, and blue is supposed to be like a depressing sad color. I like blue, so I guess I'm depressed all the time. Come on.
So Kemper's living in the world, having lived the ages of 15 to 21 behind bars, and he is socially behind the curve. He can't even really speak to women his own age. Kemper was quoted saying, "I wasn't impotent physically, but emotionally, I was impotent. I was scared of, I wasn't impotent. I was scared to death of failing in a male-female relationship. I knew nothing about that whole area."
Mm-hmm.
So this is when he began hyping himself up to get to killing. Like he started hyping himself up. By his own claims, he picked up about 150 female hitchhikers without an incident. He wanted to do something to them, but he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
He was quoted in the Front Page Detective, which was a true crime magazine in the 70s, in 1973 as saying, "I first picked up girls after I talked to them. Just try and get acquainted with people my own age and try to strike up a friendship." So this is when he started moving to killing.
Mm-hmm.
Is he began the habit of picking up women without a gun, and he would just think about like, "Ooh, what if I had a gun? That would make this more exciting." And then he began to hide a gun in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And he wouldn't bring it out of the hiding spot, but it would kind of give him a thrill. because he knew he had a gun in the car and at any moment he could kill them. And this is also when he started to he made the car almost a police car where you could not open the passenger or the back seats from the inside. You had to do it from the outside.
He's thinking ahead a little too much.
Yeah. For him, it was very much the beginning of the fantasy. And he started to feel what he called a fantastic passion building inside of him. And in a 1984 interview, he said he was raging inside. There was just incredible energies, positive and negative, depending on a mood that would trigger one or the other. Mm-hmm. Outside, I looked trouble at times. I looked moody. Other times, I looked perfectly serene. But again, people weren't aware of what was happening. He was also using drugs at the time and said his tolerance kept building. And he kept having to use more to get the effect he wanted. So in the early summer of 1972, Kemper began to act these fantasies out. And it was almost always after a huge blowout fight with his mom that he would commit these crimes. The first and second victims were on May 7th of 1972. May I also mention, it is very rare for serial killers, unless their victimology is killing families, to kill two women at a time. That is weird.
Okay.
I mean, even Bundy, he killed one at a time until he was like, oh, I now feel confident enough. I need more of a thrill.
But with Kemper, he was two at a time.
No, Kemper, this was his first one, and he was like, I'm going to kill two at a time. And then he killed one, and then he killed one.
Because I was going to sit there and was thinking that, oh, dang, if he's killing two at a time, maybe it's an OCD issue.
Yeah, it's not. So, heads up, this one's going to get a little gory. The first and second victims were on May 7th of 1972, and they were Fresno State University students, Marianne Pesky and Anita Lucchesa. They were both 18 years old, and they were hitchhiking to Stanford University when they accepted a ride from Kemper. He drove these girls to a deserted area. Remember, he was working in the highway department, so he knew where the remote areas were. The first thing he did was handcuff Pesky, and then he locked Lucchesa in the trunk. So while Pesky was in the front seat, he tried to suffocate her with a bag. And he called this a nifty little trick to put a bag over their head.
As we were told as kids, don't put the bag over your head.
Yeah, but the fact he referred to it as his nifty little trick. It was not a nifty little trick.
No.
Because she was so amazingly smart. She was a badass. Guess what she did to that bag?
Ripped it?
She bit it and tore a hole in it.
Good for her.
She made it completely useless. So she fought really hard, and Kemper didn't expect for her to fight that hard. She was not going to go willingly. So because she was fighting, he didn't know what to do. So he stabbed her because that's all he could think of to do. And he was surprised again because she didn't immediately die from the stab wound. He said he thought it was going to be like the movies where she would just fall over and die after being stabbed.
That's not how that works.
He said the reality was, and this is a disturbing way of describing it, he said they instead just leak to death.
What are you expecting? Drips?
The verbiage is so awful. I can't help but laugh.
It's whatever, dude. You're just fucked up.
It's so fucked.
You're just...
God.
Yeah, I can't say there's something mentally wrong with you because we've already figured that part out.
Yeah. So he goes, they lose blood pressure and you stab them more and more and more. You complicate it many times by where you're hitting, the pain you're causing, and the aggravation of the person involved. Plus, whether or not they leak a little faster. He said it wasn't working. He even said I stabbed her all over her back and her sides and it still wasn't working. Now, you and I know a stab wound to the heart or like even a brain stab, like if you go through the ear, that's going to just kill him.
Jugular. Come on.
Yeah.
Main artery. I mean, given all the
would like kill her really quick. So why was he like struggling to just like stab her?
Did The joy of stabbing, maybe?
No,
The enjoyment of stabbing?
he said, and I quote, "Her breasts were there, and that actually deflected me. I couldn't see stabbing. I couldn't see stabbing a young woman in the breast. That's embarrassing."
Oh my God. Just, you just move them. Right there. Dude, come on. Really?
He also apparently, in some reports of his,
God.
apologized to her mid-stabbing because he touched her boob.
Oh.
So he's stabbing her, touches her boob, goes, "I'm sorry," and then stabs her. Not funny. What?
It is
My
kind of
brain-
it is kind of funny because you're sitting there thinking, okay, you're stabbing somebody.
Yeah.
Why would you take the 2 seconds to say sorry I touched your boob and then keep going?
Can you imagine the terror she's feeling as being stabbed, and
She
then
gets stabbed,
all of a sudden, "I'm sorry I touched your boob."
And then
What?
her face is like, okay, what? Wow.
What?
First dude to apologize for touching my boob. Okay, and we're proceeding to stab her.
It doesn't. Do you see
Doesn't
why I
make sense.
say this man is so
Discombobulated to
you
me.
can't. I cannot grasp.
He might be smart, but
He's stupid.
yes, at the same time.
So
Some people, okay, some killers don't apologize. Don't.
and
I
then
mean,
he apologized for touching her boob. I can't. He ended up officially killing her by slashing her throat ear to ear.
oh, hey, there you go. Would have been sooner if he did that.
He said
Wow.
stabbing was not like what he thought, and it kind of shook him a little, and he had to calm down before he touched Luchessa. Because remember, she's in the trunk. So she doesn't know what's happening.
Oops.
So he's covered in blood. And she sees him when he opens a trunk. And she's like, "What's going on? What did you do?" And some people say he kept her in the trunk as like a favor almost. Kind of like with what he did with his grandpa. To keep her from seeing him kill her friend and be kind of respectful. But I disagree with that for what he's about to do. He responded, he said, "Your friend got smart with me, so I hit her in the nose, and I think I broke her nose, and that's what this blood is. So you better go see if she's okay."
Wow. No,
That me, that just throws out the theory that he's trying to protect her.
No, he's not trying to protect her.
I'm pretty sure it was he wanted to have complete control, and he was like, one victim at a time, I'll have more control. If she's in the back seat, she could get loose.
Yeah, but she can't open the door from the inside.
In an interview, he made sure to say that Pesky got smart with him a couple of times, like really smart, and I never hit her. Which doesn't make it any better. Yeah, you didn't hit her.
No,
Instead,
you
you stabbed her,
so
then
many times.
apologized for touching her boob, then stabbed her some more, then slit her throat.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the craziness of this case so far. I'm not laughing at
him killing.
him killing.
I'm not laughing at the expense of the victims, but this man is so.
I'm laughing at this dude is all over the place.
If this was not real life, I would think this was a comedy.
Yeah, there you go.
With what's that comedy film where Ryan Reynolds is a serial killer and the heads are in his refrigerator and he talks to them?
Oh, I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it gives off that vibe. Huh. He ended up strangling her. He ended up strangling Luchessa. With her own. Oh, so I didn't finish that. He ended up killing Luchessa and he stabbed her. And he said when the knife didn't initially pierce her clothing because it was so dull from how many times he stabbed Pesky.
Okay.
That's kind of awful. So he ended up strangling her with her own scarf. He said that wasn't a swell of a knife or a good knife. He needed to get a better knife.
Okay.
So he brought both bodies back to his apartment. He had them thrown both in his trunk. And on his way to his apartment, he actually got stopped by police for taillight being out. Mind you, she's covered in blood. His car is also covered in blood. And I kind of know how he manages to drive away and get away. Ed was friends with almost all of the police officers on the force.
Oh, jeez.
See, Kemper wanted to be a police officer, but they had a height and weight limit, so he couldn't join. So he decided since he couldn't become a police officer, he was going to join the police officers that weren't on duty. So he would go to the bar called the jury room, where all the officers would go after their day, and he would drink with them. And the police ended up liking him because of his charming personality. He described himself as a friendly nuisance.
Have another shot. And yeah.
This would lead to one of the most interesting aspects of the story. So after he's pulled over, actually a lot of the times while they're still trying to investigate his murder case of him being a murderer, right? He would go to the bar and talk to the officers about his cases.
Okay.
And he'd be like, what if he did this? What if he did that? And the police officers are like, that's actually a really great idea.
Okay, why would you feed into that?
Because they had no idea who he was. They didn't know he was the killer.
Apparently.
And again, there is an interesting aspect of this relationship he has with the police that happened later in the story. So he's trying to help them understand the killer.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's helping them understand. So he's pulled over. The police lets him go. Doesn't even give him a ticket. Tells him his taillight's broken. He goes, okay, buddy. And he drives off. So he drives back to his apartment. And he brings the bodies inside. And then he defiles their corpses. Kemper was a necrophiliac. He took explicit photos of them posed in mature ways. And then he dismembered them. He defiled the decapitated heads. It's actually what he's most known for.
Okay.
He would dismember, put their body in plastic bags, and he threw the heads in a ravine, and the bodies were scattered throughout the wilderness. In the end, Pesky's head was the only one found. Lucchese's head was never found, and their body parts were also never found. So after he killed them, he started to give women's rides again, thinking, I killed those two, I'm done. I've gotten it out of my system. That was not a case. Once you become
a killer, you pretty much are always one.
That wasn't the case. He would get into a fight with his mom, and he would again use that rage and kill again. But he did say if he picked up a woman and she talked about the case, and she'd be like, oh my gosh, are you that killer? And he'd be like, no, I'm not that killer. And she'd be like, oh, okay. Or she'd go, have you heard about the missing two college girls? And he'd be like, yeah, I heard about them. He wouldn't kill them.
Oh, wow.
So if they brought up the case, he wouldn't
do anything.
He wouldn't do have you heard about those missing hitchhiking girls? No. Yeah, there's all these girls who've gone missing hitchhiking. Oh.
Huh.
He wouldn't touch them.
Oh, wow.
And the reason he cites he wouldn't kill them was because he was embarrassed.
Why is he embarrassed? Because
they were
talking about him?
They're talking about him. They're talking about his killing.
Usually some killers are like,
no.
Yeah. They'd be all like, oh, yeah, I know
I'm
about
a killer.
that.
No. This man was like, oh, yeah, that's me. I don't mean to make him a cute girl. I don't. But that's kind of the vibe it's giving. It's giving I'm a weird girl.
Yeah.
I'm a cute girl. He's not. He's a monster.
Wow. That's weird just to hear that a killer is embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
again,
oh my God,
his mindset is so weird.
Yeah, it is.
On September 14th, 1972, 15-year-old, his youngest victim, 15-year-old.
Okay, wow.
Korean ballet dancer, and I hope I pronounce her name correct, Agieko, looking for a ride to dance because she missed the bus. She held a sign that said San Francisco on it, and he picked her up. He immediately took out a gun to scare her. He told her he was going to kill himself, and I want you here as my witness. And he said, if you struggle, if you scream, if you try and go away, I'm going to kill you too. But this is what I want to do. He drove her to a wooded area like before, and he apparently locked his keys in the car at some point with her in the car with the gun. But he managed to convince her to let him back in the car.
Okay, I wouldn't.
He said she fought back hard like pesky, and he eventually strangled her to death with her own scarf. Okay, it was her who was strangled to death with her own scarf, not the other lady. He said he originally tried to suffocate her by putting his fingers up her nose.
Sorry.
You still have a freaking mouth.
I gotta sit like this for a second.
I can hear myself talking back, and that's why I'm laughing. It is.
Sorry, it's not funny.
It's
not funny.
not funny.
It's not funny.
But how?
Why would you stick your finger up somebody's nose?
Thinking it would suffocate them.
Yeah.
I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. And that's why I'm laughing right now, because
I laugh because I'm just flabbergasted. Of trying, and my brain is like, what? What did I just hear? Oh my god. Dude. What is... You know, I wonder why we don't get much followers, probably is because we're laughing at this crap.
no, there are other people I've heard they do podcasts where they like make little jokes and do stuff like that with their things. And I want you to know I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable with his thought process, with everything about it.
And mine is because I'm trying to, what is he thinking? Because it's not funny. And I'm agreeing with her. It's not funny at all. I am, on the other hand, laughing at the fact of, what?
Exactly. He's
What?
supposed to be super smart. He has an IQ of 145, and he's like, fingers up the nose will suffocate her.
I guess mine is, okay, I'm laughing at the pure stupidity of it. That he really thinks that that's going to work. Would that make more sense if I put it that way? Not the whole of me laughing because, what? The whole, I'm laughing because it's the whole stupidity of it all.
Yeah.
You really think that that's going to work? And tell me how many of you out there laugh watching a movie that contains murder, and you watch when the person does the murder, and then they do something really stupid afterwards, and you're like,
laugh.
what in the hell did they just do? That's this concept right now.
Yeah, and again, we are not trying to make light.
This dude is like totally screwed up.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And another reason, like, I'm not going into depth about like the victims, I would say,
excuse me,
is because the victims were highly talked about. This is not like the axe murder case, not the axe murder case, the Bayou Strangler, where the victims were kind of like thrown under the bus. These were college co-ed girls. These victims were highly talked about.
Which, go back and watch the Bayou Strangler if you haven't seen it yet.
Because
it's one of my favorites.
That man is not as crazy as this one.
No. And that just gave me another idea for another podcast episode. The axe murder. The
Villisca axe murder case.
Yeah, that one that I can't say.
So on the way home, after he suffocated her by strangled her.
Don't say put fingers up the nose because I'm gonna laugh again.
After he strangled her with her scarf, he defiled her body immediately. So he didn't take her back to the house to defile her body. He did it immediately in the car. Well, he dropped her body in the trunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on his way home, he decided it was a good time to stop for a drink. with his friends,
Cops.
the police.
Wow.
Yeah. And then get this. He took her to his apartment, dismembered her, and defiled her again. She was actually never found. Her body was never found, even though her parents went searching. She was everywhere. There were "Have you seen me" posters. There was media all over it. Her parents were like, "This is a." Her face was everywhere.
Milk carton, poster, wherever.
Exactly.
TV.
But her body was never found. And I will say part of the reason is because when he dismembered the bodies, he would scatter them in the wilderness. So most likely animals took it.
Wow.
So on he was on his way to dispose of her head, apparently, when he stopped in for his court-mandated psychiatrist appointment. Her head was in his trunk. In a bag.
Surprised he didn't burn her with.
And he went to his court-appointed psychiatrist appointment. And it was in this meeting he was deemed no longer a threat to others and was actually referred to as a very well-adjusted young man by 2 psychiatrists. It was then recommended his record be sealed so that his record could never be seen that he killed his 2 grandparents.
Wow. Okay.
So it was at this point in time that the police started to send out warnings to students to not get into strangers' cars. And if they were going to get into a stranger's car, make sure the stranger had a university sticker on it.
Well, let's give him that.
Do you know what was on Kemper's car?
A university sticker car.
A university sticker, because his mom worked for the university. So she was working as an administrative assistant, so she had a sticker and so did he. He was looking for college girls, so it ended up working in his favor. So he actually says because his mom worked with co-eds, that's why he killed co-eds. He said they represented not what my mother was, but what she liked, what she coveted, what was important to her. And I was destroying it. So at this point, he actually moves back with his mom on UC Santa Cruz campus. He said that he had a .22 caliber, and he went bananas. It was after getting this gun, he killed his 4th victim, Cindy Shao, and that was on January 7th, 1973. She was 19 years old, and he picked her up when she was hitchhiking. He shot her this time and hid her body in his closet. Again. And he dismembered her and defiled her in his mom's shower.
Okay.
Yeah. He ended up throwing the pieces of her into a nearby ravine. He was also really smart because he would remove the bullet from the skull when he shot her, so they couldn't track him. He did keep her head for a couple of days. Okay. And during that couple of days, he did defile the head. Yeah. He also buried that head in the backyard garden at his mother's house. He said he faced her head to look up at the window because according to him, my mother always wanted people to look up to her.
Oh, jeez. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
So after that, he went on his 5th and 6th victims, which were his last co-eds. They were on February 5th, 1973. It was after a bad fight with his mom that he picked up Rosalind Thorpe and Allison Lou. Allison was 21. There's conflicting age for Rosalind, but she was also about 21. He shot them in the head, got them in the car, and immediately just bang, bang. That's what he did. He was like, you want to hitchhike? You want to ride? And they're like, yeah, gets in the car. Shot.
Oh, wow.
He said that on his way out of campus, he claims a security guard let him out and he had covered their bodies in the backseat with blankets and he said they were drunk and passed out and that he was bringing them home. The second story was the guard was passed out and he got by him and just drove by him.
Oh, wow.
He brought them home and then he opened the trunk, put them in it, in full view, like he's in his, like he drove up to his driveway, trunked facing the neighborhood, took the dead bodies out of the back seat and threw them in the trunk where anyone could see, and then proceeded to dismember their bodies and decapitate them in the trunk in full view of anybody walking by or anybody looking.
He's smart and stupid.
He
Okay.
Yeah.
This is that case that trying to wrap your head around their thoughts and what they're doing, and you really can't.
No, you
To be
can't.
honest, you can't. 'Cause you're like,
You
it's more or
can't.
less a case of what is he thinking?
Exactly.
He's not thinking of everybody that he has just, defiled and murdered, and he makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's a smart man. Okay. Obviously, he was trying to be courteous because he touched a girl's boob and apologized. That makes no damn sense. Why would you apologize for touching a woman's boob while you're killing her? It'd be like Jason chasing after somebody. Hey, slow down. I can't walk that fast. And then right when he gets to you, I'm sorry, I have to do this. And then he does it.
Yeah.
No.
So he dumped the heads and bodies in 2 different places, like his normal routine.
Yeah.
His last victims were his mom and his mom's friend, Sally Hallett, her best friend. It was April 20th, 1973, on Good Friday.
Not so good.
He ended up beating his mother to death with a claw hammer and then slit her throat.
Dude, you beat her with a hammer. You didn't have to.
This is Edmund's thought process.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I decided I'm going to murder my mother. I knew a week before she died I was going to kill her. And she went to a part. She got soused. She went to a party. She got so soused. She came home, went to sleep. I was woken by that. Came out, walked to her bed. She was laying there reading a paperback as many thousands of nights before, and she said, "Oh, I suppose you're going to want to sit up all night and talk now." "Shit," I said. I said no. I said good night. And I knew I was going to kill her, And I'm not so cold. It's so hard that it's the first time in 10 years I've looked at that way. I mean, that's intense. That hurts. Honestly, it hurts. Because I'm not a lizard. I'm not from under a rock. I came out of her. Came out of my mother, and in a rage, I went right back in. For 7 years, she said, I haven't had sex with a man because of you. My murderous son in one of our arguments. I cut off her head and humiliated her corpse. I said there, 6 young women are dead because of how she raises her son, and the way her son was raised, the way he grew up, and the way she was choosing her words. I suppose you want to stay up all night and talk. God, I wish I had.
Wow. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's real sad. That's his thought process.
He's like, I knew I was going to kill her
but
a week ago.
But the way he's describing how he feels about why he's doing it, that is sad.
It is. And again, he's a psychopath. He doesn't necessarily have the emotions. He does not have that connection. He is not, psychopaths do not have that kind of connection.
Mm-mm.
But he is really good at pretending he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good at pretending to have sympathy. So, he defiled her head repeatedly.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he...
Oh, no.
He put her head up and used her head as a dartboard.
Oh, my God. Sorry.
So, at this point, you may be wondering what's the fascination with decapitation? And Kemper answered it in the most disturbing way possible.
Oh, Lord.
The heads are a bit like a trophy. The head is where everything is. The brain, the eyes, the mouth. That's a person. I remember being told as a kid, you cut off the head and the body dies. The body is nothing after the head is cut off. Well, that's not true. There's a lot left in a girl's body without the head.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
I'm
was
sorry.
perfect.
That was perfect
That was
timing.
perfect
And
timing
you
for
probably
Justin.
couldn't hear it. You could hear Justin through the door go, as soon as I finished that quote, gave a little bit of science, you hear him go, oh hell no.
That's too funny.
That was perfect timing.
Yes, it was.
So remember a couple of episodes ago, I think I mentioned that he took out her vocal cords.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't just take out the vocal cords. He also took out the whole larynx
Jeez.
and the tongue.
Oh wow.
And then he threw them in garbage disposal, and it spat a piece back at him.
Oh.
And the whole quote goes, I found that appropriate. As much as she bitched and screamed and yelled at me over so many years, even the garbage disposal can't grind up her voice box.
Oh jeez. Wow.
Yeah. So he defiles her body, shoved her in a closet, and then went out for a drink. Later, he called her best friend Sally Hallett and asked her over for dinner. And when she got there, he decapitated her, defiled her body, then stuffed her body in a closet too. He stole her car and drove, and he ended up in Pueblo, Colorado. There, he pulled over at a payphone, called the police, and confessed.
You'll find my mom and her best friend in the closet in the house.
Wait for it. At first, the police said, I kid you not. The police went, Ed, stop. That's not funny. That's not a funny joke. You got us. They didn't believe him.
Oh wow.
Because he was such close friends with them, they did not believe him.
That he could do something like that.
That he could do something like that. Some stories go that he called them 3 separate times.
Mm-hmm.
Some reports go, he called, they said, not a funny joke, hung up. He called again. Another police officer answered, go, ha ha, very funny.
Yeah.
Hung up. Another person answers. And that's when an officer that he was friendly with, he was like, hey, I really did do this. You need to come get me. And he confessed to all the other crimes. And he's like, if you don't believe me, just go to my mom's house.
Wow.
So they went to his mom's house, found everything, then came and arrested him. They asked him why he confessed, and he said, the original purpose was gone. I said to hell with it and called it off. Because once he killed his mom, that was it.
And see, that's another point is, okay, if you're that irritated with your mother,
you should not be living with your mother.
One, you should not be living with your mother. Number two, if your whole process is that she's the person that you've wanted to take out in the first place, okay.
So he was arrested in April 1973 at 24 years old. He faced 8 counts of murder. He attempted suicide twice while waiting for trial. He also tried the insanity defense, and he admitted to cannibalism and then recanted that statement. He claims the only reason he said he had committed cannibalism was so that he could do an insanity defense.
Oh,
once it failed, he didn't need to say he was a cannibal. He wasn't. He was just trying to prove a point. He was found guilty, and he requested to die by death by torture.
like the same way he tortured them?
I don't know. He just said, my death penalty? Kill me by torture. Torture me to death. What?
Your face. Like, why would... Oh, okay.
At the time, there was a moratorium on California on the death penalty. So he ended up getting 7 life sentences to be served concurrently. He was sent to California Medical Facility where he served alongside Herbert Mullen. Remember that man? The one who killed 13?
Yeah.
Well, and Charles Manson. They were all at the same prison.
They became buddies and had a tea party.
Well, no. You see, Herbert was terrorizing everyone.
Okay.
And he didn't like that. He didn't like Herbert. Because Herbert would sing while they were trying to watch TV. He'd scream and yell all night long. He was just a nuisance.
Let me guess, he wanted to get rid of the nuisance.
He's just a problem. So when Herbert Mullen would do rowdy things, Kemper would splash or spray him with water. And when he was good, he would give Mullen peanuts.
Okay.
And in the end, Herbert Mullen started to become a model prisoner.
Oh, okay. I mean, just put Kemper in there; they'll behave. Jeez.
He trained Herbert Mullen.
Oh, shit.
He physically trained Herbert Mullen to be a model prisoner.
Wow. I mean, he ain't going anywhere, so.
He was used to make the serial killer profiles that we use to this day. He was one of the first that wanted to interview with the FBI. He liked to talk to the media still, and he still does like to talk to the media.
Mm-hmm.
He is a model prisoner, and he is also well liked. He has been tasked currently. He is still in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He is currently also tasked with scheduling patient psychiatric appointments.
Did they not learn anything from the first time he was in a psychiatric place?
They have learned, because we'll get to that.
Okay.
But he has also spent 5,000 hours narrating several books on tape, including children's books.
No.
He was quoted recently saying, "I can't tell you what this means to me, to be able to do something so constructive for someone else, to be appreciated by so many people, the good feeling it gives me after what I've done." Some of the titles he has narrated is Flowers in the Attic,
Okay.
The Glass Key, Merlin's Mirror, Petal on the Wind, The Rosemary Murders, Sphinx, and some Star Wars books.
Oh, okay. Never listened to them on tape.
He is still alive. He is 75 or 76. He's in a motorized scooter.
You can't go far. You can't go as fast.
You know what? What is with serial killers and ending up in a wheelchair or a motorized scooter?
At least he has shoes and feet.
All right.
Don't have to take his wheels away.
So at 75, Kemper has diabetes, and he suffered a stroke
no.
a couple years ago.
Oh, geez.
He has a coronary heart disease and a pacemaker. He is confined to a wheelchair. A psychiatric evaluation, though, in April, ranked him as a high risk to reoffend.
No, really?
In denying parole, the board cited an incident in 2022 when Kemper grabbed a prison staffer on the buttocks as he was being moved in the wheelchair.
He's 75. You can't. Okay. Did he apologize for it?
I don't know if he apologized for it. He was last denied parole in 2017.
Of course, he's gonna be denied.
His next parole hearing will be in 7 years.
Or 2020, so 32.
Or I think it's 7 years from 2017.
Oh, okay.
So
well, that was last
2024. Year. Oh no, it's 7 years from this year.
So it'll be 2032. Yeah.
So that's Edmund Kemper.
That wasn't that bad. I'm sitting here, my mind is open, thinking that this is going to be like it was horrific. Yes, there were, and she didn't really go into much detail because if she says if it's bad, I tell her don't go into much detail.
The other one, I hate to say, I have to go into a little bit of detail. So another reason I wanted to do this case before we do the Toy Box Killer is because in the Toy Box Killer, I will give you this heads up. He has a torture room. I am going to be talking about the items that are found in the torture room, how that equipment was used.
So when I go to edit that video, I'm gonna do a intro and be like, warning.
Just warning. There is a whole bunch of stuff in that case that is to the point that if I need a mental health break because of me writing it, like the Kemper case, I know a lot about Kemper already. So this was kind of also just a refresh. I was just typing up. I was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. I knew this and I knew that and blah, blah, blah.
No, because this one, I'm going to read it because this one to me was not that bad. Yes, what he did,
awful and horrible.
Awful and horrible. The one that still bugs me is the one that used household items to
Blackout Ripper.
Yes, that one I don't care for. I did not. It makes me look at household items not the same. And I'm lucky that we don't have most of those. items.
I also think the reason the Blackout Ripper was so horrific to think about is because household items are in your house.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm glad I don't have half of them.
They're in your house. They're items you use. And for them to be used in aspects of torture, that takes away from the security of those items. But the Toy Box Killer is one of those cases that it's like the Blackout Ripper where you kind of have to go into detail about it. So we're gonna discuss a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
So it is gonna be kind of a graphic one. I think Michelle is gonna need a little bit of time to recoup from it. I would not be surprised if there might be moments where you go, recess,
bathroom break.
Yeah, it is 17 pages long. This was 10 pages long. This upcoming one is 17 pages long. I do go into horrific detail about some of the things that was found, about some of the things he did to women. So just so you have that heads up, he is one of those that's, and like I said, there's a transcript. There's an audio recording of him. It's called the orientation video. The orientation audio. Don't read the transcript. Don't listen to the audio. It is one of the most disturbing things I have ever heard in my life. One of the most disturbing things I have ever read. And this is coming as somebody who was going on Murderpedia at the age of 10 and looking at crime scene photos. Like, I mean actual, like, crime scene photos. Like, I mean with the body and all.
Yeah.
For me to go, I will be at work, just tagging along, and a piece of the transcript will just run across my mind, and I have to go, no, that's going in the lockbox in the back of my brain, tucked in a corner, never to be seen again. Because if you sit on it, it just fucks with
you. Yeah. ASMR. Because she's purring.
Oh.
Sweet Marie.
Hi.
Oh, sweet Marie.
But yeah.
And every time we do a podcast, anyways, one of the cats is always here. So
yeah,
they're my comfort,
emotional support,
animals.
And again, I want everyone to understand. I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. So sometimes I'll laugh during these cases, and it is not because I'm finding it funny. It is because I am uncomfortable.
And we know it's not funny. And so,
and again,
mine is due to I'm trying to wrap my head around what did I just hear. So yes, okay, I'm a person that laughs at people that get hurt, but I'm not laughing at them getting hurt. I'm laughing at the fact of when I watch videos of people that fail and doing stupid things, I'm looking at their face. So when I see their face, yeah. When it comes to somebody being murdered, that's not funny at all. I know that. And there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with anybody that might chuckle. You're trying to wrap your head around, what is this person thinking?
It's the same idea with, like, we were talking last episode about, like, the 9/11 conspiracy theory, the Sandy Hook conspiracy theory. When something is so tragic, you can't wrap your brain around it.
And that's one thing I'm going to do is the Sandy Hook thing. Just to give you a heads up, because there's a little bit, a tidbit of it in there we were just talking about a case just, recently that the dad in the video that you find on the Sandy Hook shooting was standing by an authority figure. I don't know if it was a police officer or who, but it was like an authority figure, laughing. And your children were one of the kids that were in that school that got shot. He was laughing. Comes up to the microphone, fake cry.
But I also wonder, could he have been laughing because kind of like how we laugh at it?
They were both laughing.
But could they have been
like either it was a joke that was being told?
Yeah, but could you think about maybe they were both highly uncomfortable with the situation?
It could have been.
They're making a joke that, look, my family just died and one of my kids just died and now I gotta fucking do a press conference. Like,
See, my mind thinks though that if you're an upset parent that lost a kid, you're not going to be laughing, you're not going to be joking, no matter what it is. Are you scared of that cat? Of what happened? And that's just my mindset. I don't know what was going on in his head. I'm not that parent. I'm not any parent that lost a kid during that happening. When I went to Pima, we had to do a paper on conspiracy. Well, Sandy Hook is part of the conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Hence why I picked it, because everybody else had picked something, and I'm like, well, I can't do what they're doing, because then that's like mocking and whatnot. So I picked that. I got a B on the paper. I would have got an A, but I think mine was like the punctuation and other things. Well, because I got honors at Pima Community College, I had to do a 10-page paper. There was not much information on the Sandy Hook shooting.
I think also probably because when you wrote your paper, it was probably really close to the Sandy Hook.
I don't remember. But all I know is I asked her, like, I can't find any more information on this. So she allowed me to use pictures. And see, even when you look at the pictures don't make sense. And that's the whole thing. That's why I'm trying to find, I did a 30-minute video earlier today before picking up Abigail. So unfortunately, she couldn't join me on that video because I did it quick. It was a short video. Just sitting there saying, now my days off have changed. They are changing next week. I will have now Monday, so we will still have our Mondays. So don't worry about that. We still have Monday, and then I have Thursday. So Abigail's going to be joining me on J&M's channel with these conspiracy theories, where we can discuss them, not more or less like try to pick it apart, but just like discuss it.
Kind of like what we just did with the Sandy Hook. But could you yeah.
So just kind of like getting our thoughts on it. Do we believe it's a conspiracy theory? And I know people are going to have their 2 cents and throw their and that's perfectly fine. Like I said in that little video, you're allowed to. You have a right to freedom of speech. But I will cut you off and I will stop you if you start getting disrespectful to other people in the chat.
And I get it if you for example, some people don't believe the Sandy Hook shooting. That does not mean you go to the parents' houses and accuse them of lying.
Yeah, you don't do things like that.
You don't harass people, because regardless, if let's say it's true, right? It is a conspiracy, right? Great, fantastic. You're still harassing somebody. But what if it was real? What if they did lose a child? Now you're harassing a grieving parent? That's just fucked up.
It's kind of like, I want to dig a little deeper into, because when you're at school, you don't have much time to dig. If you think about it. Okay, look at Edgar Allan Poe. When I tried to do a thing on him, there's a conspiracy about that. Was he poisoned? Was it alcohol? Was it alcohol poisoning or actual poison put into his drink? So there's 2 things on that. The Villisca Axe murder. Okay, was it the town preacher or was it somebody else like in the house? So that was also on the list of a conspiracy. Like, nobody knows who did it. They didn't know who did it. They were assuming, the assumption of other people doing it. So there's a lot of different stories that it is just spooky season because we kicked it off this month.
Yeah, we're kicking it off early.
We kick it off early.
Guess what? Spooky season is in your heart. It is not a scheduled time.
It is not. And mine's usually 365 days, 24/7.
Exactly.
Because I just like it. It's more or less I just want to pick apart, conspiracy theories and just sit and discuss it. Again, you can have your opinion. That's perfectly fine. I have 2 perfectly good moderators that will be there and they will shut you down when it comes to it. I don't even get to read the comments sometimes. They're that fast. So, but this one, again, if you're watching this and it is August 20th. It's a Wednesday. That you might be seeing this. You'll be seeing this on September 1st, to put it that way. So on September 1st, if you're watching this was recorded on August 20th because they were going to be out of town.
Do you get now why I say Kemper is is like the serial killer I will always come back to?
Yeah, because his mind is just, you can't figure out what he's thinking.
Exactly.
You can't understand. You can't understand what he's thinking.
Thought of. One moment he's like, you know what? I'm not a lizard. I didn't come out from under a rock.
And
I
then the
came
next
from my
minute he's
mom.
sticking 2 fingers up somebody's nose
To
to
suffocate them. Like,
and that's the part that's baffling. It's like, what are you
it
thinking?
is again
dude?
the dichotomy of that quote. I look at a girl and I want to take her out. I want to treat her well. And then there are other times I want to see what her head looks like on a stick. It is the same kind of dichotomy where you cannot process that they can be in a person's brain at the same time. But yeah. So yeah, that's why I will always go back to Kemper.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you always are like, Bayou Stranglers by far.
That again, I don't know, at that moment, just I was all about Louisiana. There's stuff happening in Louisiana. So I mean, but there are a lot of things coming up. So I have next week to pick one. I mean, I looked up, I Googled it to see what the oldest one was. So we're probably going to start with the oldest one. I think it was like 68 AD was the year. So I'm going to have to get into that and get some research going on it. And I'll work on it this week into next week. Like I said, because my days off are going to be changing quickly. So, but I mean, we'll see you all when they get back from vacation.
No, we'll do an episode on Monday.
Yeah, the 8th, because we're doing that one. So September 8th. Might as well give dates.
No, we're doing the episode on the 25th.
Well, no, this one is for September 1st.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about for
we
September.
already did the.
We're in August, okay?
Oh my God.
We are in August.
I'm tired. Work was hard.
But this one, this video is for September 1st, is what I'm trying to tell her. So when they get back from their trip, we will be doing one the following week after when they get back of 9/11.
Yes.
And there are some conspiracies about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be a 1 part about the thing and then a 2 part on Thursday
about the conspiracy
of it. So get 2 for the price of 1, you know. So we will see you all when they get back. But then we will also see you. It's going to sound so weird and confusing.
Yeah.
We will see you next week. Well, not really, because it's not confusing if we say we'll see you next week, because this will be posted on the 1st. So
and for us, we will see you next week. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah, we'll see you next Monday. So
we're just a little tired.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting used to our 5 to 2 schedule.
Yes. So, but thank you all for jumping on here. Again, it is Wednesday the 20th, August 20th, and this will be posted on the 1st, so you guys will get to see it then. And then I may not do a video that week that they're gone, just so I can prepare for the 9/11 episodes, so I can do the research on both. But guys, have a good evening, have a good work week, and we will see you both. We will see you both next time. Good Lord, we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.
God.
I'm not here. I'm tired.
Oh.